position sometimes for young men to handle.
Corralled by Brendan Howson. And the first possession belongs to the Wildcats. Both teams off to 2-0 starts this year. Here's the lob. David Gasson.
Really good back screen by Hawson on the backside. A set play and an easy one. Jerome Tang dials up.
Reed, defended by Gasson. Here's the jumper that's put up and off the front rim. Tipped around a couple of times, and Hawson comes away with that. Coleman Hawkins into the hands of Doug McDaniel. He gets the start tonight. C.J. Jones had started at that guard spot the first couple of games. McDaniel gets the nod tonight. Hawkins. 4 to shoot. Coleman's going to have to do something with it. He leans in, puts up a 3, going after his own miss. It's a loose ball before it's finally collected by Jalen Reed. Jai Bailey ties it for LSU.
Yeah, 24 starts last year at Richmond, averaged 10 points a game. Just knows how to play the game. Very physical, 6'5" grad student. Logged a lot of minutes at the college level.
Michigan transfer, Doug McDaniel. He's going to put up a long 2 and knock it down.
Doug McDaniel was the leading scorer for Michigan a year ago. Now he's adjusting to more of a pure point guard under Jerome Tang, learning to see the game, play the game like the head coach wants him to see it.
He averaged 16 points a game last year. It is 35 minutes per game for Michigan. From the left corner, a Robert Miller shot is off the mark. McDaniel using a Hawkins screen. Kick to Gasson. He's going to put up a 3. He is not someone that hits a lot of threes, but that's his second made 3 of this season.
Mark, Kansas State comes in. I know it's only 2 games. They come in making almost 12 3-point shots a game at 43%. Very skilled shooting club in white.
I mentioned all the transfers, Jimmy, and a big part of the roster turnaround this year. Jerome Tang said, we've got to shoot the 3-ball much better this year.
Very inconsistent with it last year, and a high turnover team was Kansas State a year ago.
Almost trapped Sears, and with the shot clock under a second, it's out of bounds, staying with the Tigers, but they'll have to get off a quick shot. And Jerome Tang now in season number 3. The Elite 8 run in season 1.
You have time for a clean catch and a quick shot here. It doesn't have to be a tip with .8.
Sears. Reed. They're going to say shot clock violation. There was already a run out. So K-State fans didn't like that, but then Matt McMahon wasn't happy. He thought there was a foul on the play.
Nobody's happy in the
no,
Are
no,
you
nobody's
happy?
Well, I'm not as unhappy as the gentleman in the screen right now.
For Kansas State, they will swarm you defensively when you drive that basketball. If you're LSU, Mark, you've got to make some plays off of 2 feet in the paint tonight. If you do, you can get some good looks against the Wildcats.
K-State's hit 3 of their first 4 shots. The Tigers have hit just 1 of their first 4. McDaniel with Sears on his hip, floated from the baseline, well short. Reed tapped it into the corner, where Max Jones got a piece of it. And that's going to say LSU ball off Jones.
Yeah, tough shot by Doug McDaniel. He was a small kid, 5'10", taking a runner outside the lane.
Kansas State showing a little full court, but now drops back. A transfer from UT Martin, Jordan Sears. Carter in his return to Manhattan. Kind of swapping elbows there with Max Jones, but it's Jones's elbow that's going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, Cam Carter left here under great conditions and feelings for Jerome Tang. Jerome will be the first to tell you that Cam Carter believed in us as a staff when a lot of kids didn't. He gave his all to that K-State jersey. Now back playing for what was his dream team growing up, LSU.
Jordan Sears, I just mentioned it a moment ago, Jimmy. They are extremely happy with their find out of UT Martin.
Well, he was top 5 in the country last year, shooting 49% from 3 on catch-and-shoot threes. He can also make them off the bounce. He's a fast, strong, tough scoring point guard.
It's been his first 2 years at Gardner-Webb, last 2 at UT Martin, and now his final year with LSU, and that goes off Coleman Hawkins as K-State turns it over, and we played the first 4 minutes in Manhattan. K-State, the early 2-point lead.
One great idea can change your life.
Friday's Shark Tank is all new.
That's the
(7-5) K-State, 4 minutes gone here in Manhattan. We mentioned the Cam Carter return. Kansas State basketball, the last 2 seasons combined, played a total of 70 games. Cam Carter started all 70 of those games, was a part of their Elite 8 team 2 years ago.
Yeah, Jerome Tang very appreciative, Mark, of what this kid did for Kansas State, but he gets a chance to finish up his college career. You know, he's from Donaldsonville, Louisiana, which is about 40 miles from that LSU campus. A tough junkyard dog style game about him, lives in the gym. And he took a lot of tough shots for Kansas State last year. And Matt McMahon, trying to get him dialed in on shot selection going forward, has charted really well in the offseason with the development of the three-point shot. But a lot on him tonight to handle emotionally, transferring back into a place that he gave his all to for 2 years.
When we chatted with him earlier today, he mentioned something real interesting in the fact that growing up an LSU fan, he never went to basketball games, though, there. However, and he said he had never been to a game at the Maravich Assembly Center until he played in the exhibition game the first part of this year.
Yeah, very surprising. I think we need to point out that Damian Collins now on the floor for LSU. The front line, there's Collins.
There he is.
That's what he is. He is a rim blast guy. But the front line of LSU has taken a hit in this game. Derek Fountain apparently did something, minor injury of some sort in the shoot-around, not expected to play tonight. Playing his best ball for LSU. That's a big hit to Matt McMahon's guys on the road tonight.
Kansas State has not scored in about 2.5 minutes. LSU's come back to tie the game at 7. A Hawkins three is well short, deflected by Carter into the arms of Sears. Sears outlet. Bailey wants to cut into the lane. He's sealed off. Deep three is up and well short from Sears.
That's that catch-and-shoot three that Sears made almost 50% of the time last year. Unusual for him to not even draw iron.
Daniel looking for the roller. That's Hawkins. Max Jones bumps into Carter, and Cam's going to pick up the foul.
Yeah, Carter just a little bit out of balance and too close on the catch. And Max Jones, one of those guys that drives the ball on the catch. And there's Derek Fountain. Just a hard-playing team-first dude. Finally healthy until today. A lot of energy, a defensive star for them. But not expected to have playing time tonight.
Yeah, you certainly hope it's not serious. As you mentioned, has dealt with the injuries. He's in his final year of eligibility. You'd like to see him have good health in that final year. There's a drive. Max Jones tipping. No second opportunity there. There was Damian Collins. Bailey, kick. Victorious Miller, true freshman guard's already in this game for LSU. Collins turns at the free throw line and banks it in.
Maybe shot a little long, but long enough to bank in. Damian Collins, former Kentucky top 100 recruit, lost his father when he was at Kentucky, and has kind of found his new groove at LSU.
Tigers on a 7-0 run. They have taken their first lead. McDaniel.
He can take tough shots and make tough shots for a small guard. And really good finish for a 5'10" kid going away from the rim with his left paw.
Collins rolls. The screen, though, goes a pass to Miller.
Wide open.
And it's the other Miller. In and out on the three from Robert Miller III. Put back Bailey. It goes out of bounds. Off of LSU.
LSU, though, Mark, they're getting some good stuff off that middle dive guy. Collins dove into a bank-in shot. That time he dove and drug the defense with him. Allowed Miller to be wide open on the wing. Good offensive flow for Matt McMahon to start this game on the road.
LSU 4 of 11 from the field. 1 of 5 3-point shooting to start the game. K-State 4 of 8. 1 of 3 3-point shooting. And Brendan Hawson in their big 3-point shooting threat has not attempted a field goal in this game. There he is, was in 3-point territory, dribbles out of it, and then a travel turns it right back over to LSU. Second turnover.
Great job, of making Hawson put the ball on the deck. You cannot allow Hawson, 11 and white, to spot up and knock down threes. He shoots it too good, too clean, a repeatable stroke. Make him put it on the floor. Get to your second defensive stop. Well done by LSU.
Also the transfer from Villanova, 10 of 18 from beyond the arc in the first 2 games for the Wildcats. Collins faces up. Achor, number 14, is in the game for K-State. He missed the first couple of games due to a family matter. He's trying to protect the rim here, but cannot do so. And the bucket there, knocked in by Corey Chest.
The length and the quick jumping ability of LSU, a problem early right now for Kansas State when the ball's on the glass.
Here's a 3 from the corner. That's Achor. And the transfer from Samford. One dribble and they lost the handle, able to get it back, then lose it again. Chest fortunate to have Victorious Miller nearby. Sears, kick. This is a 3 from Bailey.
Terrific look, though, and fine by Sears.
McDaniel. His first made 3 is a Wildcat. He had missed his first 5 attempts through the first 2 games.
Yeah, but he is fearless. Misses don't watch out. Damian Collins is a very quick, long rim runner out of those ball screens. And as soon as you get on the high side of him, he feels it and dives right out of it with a purpose.
Damian Collins, Jimmy, is a chore. Kicks it back out. Here's a 3 again. And McDaniel makes it back-to-back trips down the floor.
Small guards have to shoot it deep. And McDaniel certainly can do it.
Well, you mentioned the transition he's making. More score at Michigan, maybe more playmaker at K-State, but when his team needs the points, he's found them early.
Yeah.
Here is Collins. Only played 6 games last year because of injury. Victorious Miller, the freshman, not shy. His second made 3 of the season.
You know, he made shots all day today in the shoot-around. And like, if he gets in, I trust his stroke, and obviously a lot of pressure on you when you're given the name Victorious, right?
There is some that comes with that moniker, and that's your first name.
Way more pressure than James Joseph. I felt no pressure growing up. This kid's name's Victorious.
The 17 points for K-State have all been scored by 2 players. 10 for McDaniel, 7 for Gasson. We get a K-State foul on a push, and it's going to bring us to another timeout. C.J. Jones just into the game, picks up the foul.
Yeah, Doug McDaniel is what, 5'10" maybe? If you're that small, you got to be able to shoot it with depth. Courageous, unafraid, zero in white.
Hey, grab me one too.
Hi, this is Coach Tang. We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drug laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate loved ones to steer clear of street drugs. Never buy a pill online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. One pill can kill.
Whether you're into boating, camping, fishing, or just money, you should be into the $100,000 cash adventure ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win instant cash or a $100,000 Bass Pro shopping spree. Choose your adventure with the $100,000 cash adventure ticket. Get one and get out there.
Kansas City has turned into Manhattan East.
It is a great atmosphere. It is full to the ceiling.
And we're underway at the T-Mobile Center. And the stop is perfect. What a play.
How about this crowd tonight? Electric.
How about that? Jerome Tang loves a good pick and roll. Gasson banks it home. Yes! And an and one.
Our fans were incredible. The excitement, the energy. Oh, it was just incredible.
Everything you thought you knew is brand new.
We on the new wave. This ain't what it was.
See, when the game changes, so do we. Every day, every play. Always been greater than 12, now standing 16 strong.
In every end zone.
Any time zone. When everyone else keeps asking, what's next? We know we are.
Almost midway through this first half, 1-point lead for K-State. There's the SEC preseason poll. Let me take you back 2 years when LSU won 2 conference games, finished last. Last year they win 9, finished tied for 7th. The expectations, at least for the preseason poll, weren't very high because LSU is picked second from the bottom, 14-16.
Well, Mac McMahon's a heck of a coach, and he's building LSU the right way. He's in one of the most dominant leagues in college basketball between the SEC and the Big 12 this year. They're both going to put somewhere between 9 and 10 teams, I think, in the NCAA tournament. It doesn't matter where you're picked, it's where you finish. And LSU has upgraded not only in their shooting, but their depth. I see where they're picked, but Matt McMahon very confident of the group he's got to work with. The offensive glass, though, continues to be a problem for Kansas State.
They have been beaten on the offensive rebounding edge. C.J. Jones picks up the foul. The LSU bench has outscored the bench for K-State 11-0. You got Victorious Miller, Corey Chest, and Damian Collins off the bench, responsible for that bench scoring. And there's Jalen Reed. Got a very good first game. Second game was a little slower, the game against Alabama State, but Coach McMahon said, you know, he was battling some cramping, was not feeling like himself in that second game.
Well, Jalen Reed is hard to handle at 6'10", and 255. They're just going to pop him up top. This is a simple play, just to clear out isolation from the high elbow spot, and he takes it right at Ugonna Onyenso. Jalen Reed is capable of being a double-double guy night in and night out for this LSU squad.
Already 3 ties and 7 lead changes here. We got the first 10 minutes of the game, and there's a hold off the inbounds. Here's your numbers. Bench points.
Mark, LSU off already with 4 offensive rebounds. Kansas State's first shot defense has been good so far through 2 games. Their second shot defense, clean up the glass, has failed them, and it is again in this game early.
Chor, 1 dribble, and then up to the rim to lay it in for his first points as a Wildcat.
Missed the first 2 games. Death to a family member, but transferred from Sanford.
A double Reed, he passes out of it, and a 3 comes from the corner. And it's long from Victorious Miller, but an offensive rebound by Reed. Carter puts up a long 2 and scores.
Yeah, the ball deserved to go in because Kansas State getting punked on the offensive glass right now. Can't clean it up, and good job by Carter to take what the defense gave him, took up the slack, knocked down a tough 2.
Floater knocked down by C.J. Jones. So Jones, who had started the first 2 games, C.J. Jones, Doug McDaniel got the start at that guard position tonight, and he was responsible for all their points for a while. All 17, he had 10 points and then 3 assists setting up Gassan. That's a Carter 3, and now Cam Carter starting to feel comfortable again on the court that used to be his home court the last 2 years.
You know, Matt McMahon told us in the offseason he charted right below 80% from the 3-point line in their 3-point shooting. Unguarded, of course, but that stroke has really developed over the last 4 or 5 months for Cam Carter from distance.
Well, Onyenso almost had their first offensive rebound. Reed got it, but then traveled going to the bottom of the court.
Yeah, that's a really smooth, straight up, straight down shot by Cam Carter. Again, transferring back to play against his former team in a building that he's obviously very familiar with.
Both teams shooting well here in this last stretch. K-State's hit 5 of their last 6 from the floor. LSU 5 for their last 7.
Mark, the first area of concern when you play Kansas State is they play extremely hard. And LSU has matched that part of the game so far so good.
Hawson, tough 3. Well, he's been shooting the 3 ball well, but LSU will give up that kind of 3-point look. That was half the hurry. Bailey driving and scoring. They quickly got it up the floor after the missed 3.
How about the throw ahead by Gibbons, and Matt McMahon instantly on the secure of the ball, pushing his guys up the floor.
McDaniel back in. Chor goes over the back, and he'll pick up the foul.
And the athletes that LSU has thrown at Kansas State on the glass is a big part of this game. And there's that advanced pass by Gibbons up the sidelines to Jai Bailey, who just knows how to play. Ran out in front of the play, caught it, and one bounce gets himself to the rim.
Bailey is 2 for 5 from the field tonight. He came in 10 for his first 13 from the field through the first 2 games. LSU has a 4-point lead. The largest of the game. K-State led by 5 early at 7-2. 5 to shoot. Gibbons, bounce pass, lay in, good for Damian Collins.
Dude, that is beautiful basketball by a true freshman point guard Gibbons out of Compass Prep in Arizona to Collins, who again for the 3rd time has done damage as that middle ball screen roll guy.
Hawkins, Gassan, a dribble, goes up over Collins with an and-one opportunity.
The last play by LSU, Matt McMahon keeping the ball in the middle part of the floor, the middle third. And it's Gibbons, the true freshman point guard, operates off of it. And Damian Collins, that's a very small window to feed a basketball. And Collins with a strong catch and a strong finish. We got a good one in the Little Apple.
Well, Kansas State, certainly a big roster turnover, which isn't all that unusual in this day and age in college basketball and college sports. 8 Division I transfers, though. With that, though, Jimmy, I would think there is going to be a process of putting all these pieces together over the course of the early part of the season.
Yeah, there is. And right now, I think one of the things that Jerome Tank talked about after the last game, although they won, was we've got to get better in our ball screen coverage. So you bring guys in that come from different backgrounds of maybe how they covered ball screens, how we're going to cover it here. Then the live action begins, and you got to adjust on the fly. And Kansas State has been hurt again in this game early by that middle ball screen.
Out of the timeout, Gassan looking to finish off a three-point play. That's the first free throw of the game on either side, and it was an eventful one. It looked like it hit the top of the backboard before going through to complete the three-point play.
Like one of my free throw attempts. Here's the amoeba zone by Kansas State that Jerome Tank brought with him from Baylor. You got to get that ball below the free throw line extended. Get it inside those white jerseys.
Long pass, Carter, three, good. Wow. And skip all the way to the near side, and Carter just sent him rainbow into the net. 8 points now for Cam Carter. He's 3 for 4 and has hit both of his three-point attempts against his old team. Hawkins looking for his first points. Nice up and under, but couldn't finish it. 3 of the 5 starters for K-State have yet to score, including Hawkins, Max Jones, and Hassan. Well off the left side from Gibbons. Loose ball is grabbed by Bailey. Carter, another 3 is off the left side.
But the 6th or 7th now offensive rebound in this game for LSU.
They turn it right back over to the Tigers, and then McDaniel almost gets it right back for K-State.
Cam Carter, after the make, turns around and gives it right back to that K-State bench that may have been talking to his backside. It's playing the game with joy, playing the game without pressure so far on his return to Manhattan.
Well, Jerome Tang all week said, hey, we still love Cam Carter for what he did these 2 years. We understood why he went back to his home state. But the welcome has been warm, but if he comes in here and drops 25 points, that warm welcome is going to dissipate pretty quickly, and he's off to a pretty good start.
No doubt.
Foul on McDaniel, his first.
Jordan Sears is a kid that, kind of like Doug McDaniel for Kansas State, you can't throw the same ball screen coverage at him the entire game. You got to change it up. I mean, he's a downhill, physical kid at 5'10", that time won the one-on-one battle and gets himself to the free throw stripe.
First free throws of the game for LSU come at the 6:21 mark, and both of them knocked down by Jordan Sears. LSU is up 8. This is their largest lead. Daniel and Gassan, they were the early scorers for K-State. Hassan looking to get in the scoring column. That's a really tough 3. He's attempted 2 threes, Jimmy, and they have both been tough threes.
Anytime you make Hassan put the ball on the floor, you have done your job defensively.
But then LSU, too high of a pass. And the turnovers now at 3 apiece. Everybody here in Bramlage kind of taking a deep breath. Big crowd on this Thursday evening.
Every man a Wildcat, right? Don't they say around here?
That is indeed it. Hawkins, looks like he may have traveled. And now a loose pass goes right into the arms of Sears. Carter gets it back from Bailey. Cam, razzle dazzle, gets fouled by Hawkins. Hawkins saying he kicked his foot out. Was that a 3-point shot? It was not. It is 2 free throws coming for Cam Carter.
Boy, LSU very aggressive, though, in their conversion from defense to offense. The sideline break is coming with speed. And Carter steps back and a little off balance as he shot. So the right leg comes kicking out, which is what Coleman Hawkins is saying. The officials see it differently. Has not missed a free throw yet this year. Now 11 out of 11.
He had 84% from the line last year for K-State. I mentioned this is the third straight year these teams have played. They played in the Cayman Islands tournament title game back in November of 2022, a game won by K-State by 2. And then last year in Baton Rouge at the PMAC, 15-point win for K-State. And Cam Carter had 21 points in that game for K-State. So that is the last time he had played in the PMAC in a regular season game until the first 2 games this season at home. And he had 21 points in each of those 2 games at the PMAC.
Well, he has handled this situation tonight so far at an elite level.
14-3 run here for LSU. K-State hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. Jerome Tang's team came out quickly thanks to McDaniel and the start from Doug McDaniel as well as Gasson, but LSU then bounced right back off their bench with some production and opened up a 10-point lead. Jones fighting his way to the rim. Boy, K-State, Jimmy, just the offense has kind of gotten bogged down here.
Well, the guys in purple jerseys are doing a good job of showing their hands, moving their feet, making K-State make plays through their chest. Really good defensive start for Matt McMahon on the road. Uh-oh.
There's his first really good look from 3-land, and it rims out, and it gives an opportunity the other way. Victorious Miller, the freshman, lays it in. All 3 threes that he's missed, LSU's been able to quickly get it down the floor and produce.
Great analysis by you, because LSU every time running off those long misses. The speed and the athletes of LSU right now so far has bothered K-State. They can adjust to it, but they're going to have to. It's coming into play with the loose ball run out points, and the battle on the glass right now certainly favors the team from Baton Rouge. There it is, a good give ahead by Sears and a nice finish by Victorious Miller. One of the great names in college basketball this year.
Victorious from Los Angeles. And the freshman 5 points in his 7 minutes. It's a 9-0 run over the last 2:45 or thereabouts for LSU, while K-State has gone without a field goal in over 3 minutes.
You know, in a 1-hour game day practice today, I heard those LSU coaches say early and loud, probably 40 or 50 times. What they're talking about LSU defensively, early and loud defensive communication against Kansas State.
And we just saw Jerome Tang. His teams here have played really well. As head coach, he's 31-4 here at Bramlage.
Yeah.
Only 1 non-conference loss, and that was strangely to Nebraska last year. The others have been in Big 12 play. Jones again fighting his way all the way down, but still can't find the bottom of the net.
Yeah, there just is too much wingspan bothering those, what would be normally pretty good looks around the rim for K-State, have really been bothered.
Sears trying to get by a chore. Carter. Victorious Miller. Dangerous pass. Doug McDaniel thought it went off of Carter. Our lead official, actually Robert Felder, one of our officials, says it's LSU ball.
Victorious Miller very fortunate to throw a habit pass. Just kind of turned blind. Oh, wow, what a big basket by Sears off of a short clock side out of bounds.
His second 3 of the game. And boom, just like that, a 12-0 run and a 15-point lead for the Tigers. Under 4 to play first half. A chore, blocked away. But there is Onyenso to end the drought for K-State.
One of the few times that LSU has not cleaned up the miss. Now this amoeba zone, it will start sometimes out of a 1-3-1, sometimes it's stacked up top.
Miller feeding down low, chest, no. Here comes K-State. That ended a 4-minute scoring drought their last time down the floor. McDaniel weaving around but couldn't finish that. But there is a whistle at the end of the play.
Kansas State's percentage around the rim is at a stunning low number. The shots they've missed right at the rim so far in this game.
That's going to take us to a timeout with 3:12 to play in the first half from Manhattan. Great start for LSU, up 13.
With 6 on the shot clock, Kansas State lining up in their zone, and just a lack of awareness allows Sears to pop open clean, who again shot 49% on catch and shoot threes a year ago, one of the top 5 catch and shoot guys in all of college ball. You line up in a zone in a short clock, I think it's a gamble. I would rather play straight man-to-man to prevent exactly what just happened. Guys aren't organized, they forget coverage areas, and Sears just popped and made a big-time 3 on a short clock off of a side out-of-bounds play.
Each team has gone 9 deep in this first half. 7 of the 9 have scored for LSU, and a good portion of that off the bench. We've had 11 lead changes, but LSU's led for about the last 6 minutes. K-State's last lead was at 21-20 with 9.5 minutes remaining, and since then a 19-5 run by the Tigers. Up back out by McDaniel with 8 to shoot. Max Jones down to 2. Blocked by Carter.
That was a clinic defensively.
Up ahead for Miller, and another run out and slam. There has been a lot of that for LSU in this first half.
An athletic clinic by LSU on the defensive end. Putting pressure on the ball, staying in front of the ball, fighting the post, loading up to the ball side on the weak side of the floor. And K-State just completely coming unraveled on the offensive end because of it.
You know, LSU shooting 53% in this first half, Jimmy, but I would argue that it's been their defense that has really been the spark in this game for them.
No, without question, and that's what you want on the road, man. You got a team that can lock up on the road in a tough environment in the Big 12.
Pass pass from Max Jones went off a teammate, and Carter finishes with the alley-oop slam. That's a dozen points for Cam Carter here at his return to Manhattan, and he has the Wildcat fans right now with arms folded, looking perturbed after a 23-5 run here by LSU in just over the last 7 minutes.
Well, this is all about Matt McMahon's defensive game plan. The athletes out of the SEC are long and fast, and in this situation, also very physical. It's not only the defensive stops, but it's the speed that LSU has brought the ball in conversion. Kansas State has to understand, if we turn it over, if we don't secure it, we've got to have 5 guys on a massive sprint. They have not done it so far in the first half. As a result, you look up, it's a 43-26 game. A lot of concern right now for Jerome Tang in his huddle, and a lot of feel-good, mojo, momentum, confidence being built for LSU on the road in the first half.
You look at a couple of other numbers here, Jimmy. Points off turnovers favor LSU 10-0. K-State has turned it over 5 times, resulting in 10 points. It basically couldn't be any worse for K-State when you turn it over 5 times and give that up.
Yeah, it could not. I mean, total rebounds are 19-10 advantage for LSU. And it feels like a very important 2 minutes for Jerome Tang. Are they going to allow this game to grow to a 20-point lead at halftime, or can they cut it to 11 or 12? A critical 1:53 to go.
Wildcats 1 for their last 10, 1 for their last 11.
Man, if you don't want to rebound, you don't want to win. And LSU obviously wants to rebound in this game.
And throw it into the backcourt, so they're going to turn it over. That's their 4th turnover for LSU, which, again, none of their turnovers have been turned into points to this point by K-State. There's an opportunity here. Matt McMahon's team definitely playing with a spark here tonight. A very quiet Bramlage Coliseum right now in Manhattan. A minute and a half under that to go in the first half. Hawkins looking for his first point, still can't get it.
And good switch. Great job of staying in front of the ball, forcing another tough 2 attempt by K-State in this game.
And most of those attempts have been within 5 feet of the bucket, but as you said, Jimmy, they've been tough shots from 5-6 feet out.
Yeah, they have. LSU has not helped himself the last 2 possessions with turnovers. Had a chance to push this thing out to a 20-point lead. Have not gotten a shot up in the last 60 seconds.
Second foul on Reed. Jalen will take a seat. Kansas State has gone another 2.5 minutes without scoring. They're 1 for their last 12 and actually have missed their last 5 in a row.
Mark, but to your point, Bramlage is full. And it is quiet.
And it was rocking not long ago.
Yeah.
They have quieted the crowd here in Manhattan. Hassan, maybe that's the shot that helps get them back in the game, as Hassan had his best look at a 3 of the night so far right there.
The most important shot for Kansas State in this first half. So you've kept this thing to going to a 20-point lead. Can you cut it some more if you're K-State these last 30 seconds?
And their first points off turnover. Now they have a chance for the final shot here. And they've already used a couple of timeouts, so they're going to play it out here.
Boy, do not leave Hassan if you're LSU. You stay attached, you caboosing, you're physical with him. The kid at the nail, you cannot let get a touch.
C.J. Jones nearly traveled, tip Gassan around it out. And now a late foul before the clock went to zeros, I believe. Yep. They're going to have to put some time on the clock. Victorious Miller is the one charged with the personal.
The previous play is under review for timing.
Yeah, definitely some time left.
Yeah, it looked like a foul occurred around 0.6, maybe 0.7. Mark, this could be a...
After review, 1.4 on the game clock. 2 shots.
This could be a 20-point lead for LSU at the half. but they turned it over a couple of times. K-State got a big shot out of Hassan, and now an offensive rebound with a chance to make this thing a 12-point game. K-State feels very fortunate for as poorly as they played, if that's the case.
First free throw attempt of the season for Buddy Rich. Only attempted 13 all of last year and hit 7.
Well, for LSU, want a physical box off right here. Not allow Coleman Hawkins, Gasson to get another tip.
Rich hits both. So what was knocking on the door of a 20-point lead for LSU that was at 17. It's down to 12, but a chance here with a second and a half. For LSU, if they're going to throw long here. Nope, Sears is going to have to put it up from beyond midcourt. And then we'll see him really quiet for the last half of the first half.
The rebound number, 21 for LSU to 12 for Kansas State. That should not happen, especially on your home floor. And we'll see how K-State responds. Do they have an answer?
Jalen Reed defended by Gasson. A kick. Miller
good pass.
Jumps it off. And the nice find, Jalen Reed, in the LSU offense clicks right back into gear to start the second half.
How about the play with the freshman? Robert Miller is 6'10". To make a play off the bounce, read the defense, and deliver the ball nicely to Reed. A beautiful start for Matt McMahon.
I've been impressed with both freshmen with the last name of Miller for LSU. Victoria's had a pretty nice first half of his own, as K-State, no points on their first possession of the second half.
Well, there's a mismatch inside right off the bat. Doug McDaniel on Reed, still on him.
Now they make the switch. And it's Hawkins defending Reed now. He gets a little help there from Gasson, but it leaves the man open on the left side, that being Miller. This time a miss. Jones, just a loose pass. McDaniel's able to run it down in the corner. Max Jones, no points in the first half, 0 for 5. Coleman Hawkins, no points, 0 for 4. Max Jones, dribble penetration, floater. He got the contact and enough from Robert Miller to get himself to the foul line.
Mark, it's going to be difficult on Kansas State if they can't go by their guy and win their one-on-one matchup. And LSU, to me, they look like all 5 guys are saying, Coach, I got mine. They're applying hard ball pressure, not getting beat off the bounce for the most part, making life difficult again to start this half for K-State.
Max Jones swishes the first free throw, the transfer from Cal State Fullerton. Couple of seasons at Fullerton. Played at Division II Tampa. And he misses the second. It's rebounded off the floor by Jalen Reed. So 1 of 2. K-State's first free throw miss of the game. Into the lane, fighting, shooting, chest. Outlet, Hassan. Here comes Jones. Flips it out, a 3 from Doug McDaniel is well short. And Hassan, second chance points, their second 3 made tonight by Brendan Hassan.
Yeah, Coleman Hawkins knew exactly what he wanted to do. He turned down what looked like was going to be an automatic 2 to find the spotted up shot by Hassan. High IQ play by Coleman Hawkins.
And the crowd reacted to Hawkins like, wait. Okay, that works. Now there's driving lane, and LSU responds right back. That's 14 now for Cam Carter. And whistle before that long shot. Max Jones has gone to the bench. Hopefully it's just a cramp. C.J. Jones is now in. Trying to get past Carter. Good defense by Cam and a rebound for Corey Chest. Jai Bailey. This is an open three. It's on the way, but off the left side this time from Sears. K-State trying to do a little push. Boy, a deep three. Hassan. Whoa, what was that?
He has unlimited range, but there's a point.
Yeah. A very quick three that time down the floor. Nice ball movement, Reed, but then Hawkins able to react late to keep Reed from finishing with an easy lay-in. Each team 4 points to start this second half. We're just over 3 minutes in. Carter gets his pocket pick. C.J. Jones gives it to Hawkins, looking for his first points, and he'll shoot 2.
A pretty clean first half by LSU. They only have 5 turnovers, and that's, you want to keep being strong with the ball, especially on the road with a lead. Make Kansas State earn their points against your set defense, because it has been good enough if you're LSU to win this game.
Hawkins in the scoring column with his first point. The Illinois transfer, 4 seasons there. He had a lot of success, a lot of team success as well for Brad Underwood's squad.
No, he had a triple-double. I think it was against Syracuse when he was at Illinois back in the 2022-23 season. Really touching the game in a lot of areas. And now the Bramlage crowd once again trying to add fuel.
A 10-point game. Chest bangs into Hawkins and is called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, Chest went through the chest of Hawkins. That's an easy call by Tony Padilla on the baseline. Also extends that left arm, that drive arm out just a little bit. Chest getting minutes tonight without the services of Derek Fountain. Not able to play for LSU. Uh-oh.
Loose ball picked up there by Chest. Here comes Cam Carter. A Sears 3. Batted back out. Sears tried a quick pass back underneath the Collins, but it was off target and goes out of bounds.
The turnover number starting to pile up a little bit on LSU. A couple of costly ones to close out the first half, and now 3 already in the second half.
Four minutes deep into the second half in Manhattan. Hawkins faces up on Chest. Gets in the lane, waits, dumps it underneath. Gasson had it collected, but misses the close shot.
How many, Mark? 6, 7, 8?
A lot of bunnies missed, yeah.
Yeah. He'll miss that. He will not miss that. Damian Collins has found himself as a player within this game. He's always been known as a freak athlete at 6'10" that can run and jump, dominating rim plays in this game.
He's in the double digits with 10. And we're going to come to a timeout for the Kentucky transfer, Damian Collins, finding it tonight.
Yeah, former Kentucky top 100 recruit out of high school. Again, getting out in front of Kansas State, scoring and conversion. High flyer, Damian Collins.
Hey fans, we know you take pride in your team and in your home. When it's game day, you want your home performing its best, just like your team. That's why Kate's is offering fans a special deal. A furnace installed by Kate's for just $2,490. Visit katesheatingandcooling.com/KSU to learn more. Who can keep your home game day ready? Kate's can.
Kansas City has turned into Manhattan in the East.
It is a great atmosphere. It is full to the ceiling.
And we're underway at the T-Mobile Center. And the stop is perfect. What a play.
How about this crowd tonight? Electric.
How about that? Jerome Tang loves a good pick and roll. Gasson banks it home. Yes! And an and one.
Our fans were incredible. incredible. The excitement, the energy, it was just incredible.
Hey, I'm Avery Johnson, quarterback for the K-State Wildcats. I got offers to play college football all over, but I chose to stay in Kansas. Why? I grew up here, and my family's here. That's why I want to tell you about Midland Exteriors. They're a local family-owned window, siding, and roofing contractor, and they serve Kansas homeowners since 2001. Now that's Purple Pride. Check them out at midlandexteriors.com or call today and save 10% on your next project.
Big time crowd here tonight for a big time game. Here we go. Boom! Oh my goodness.
We're seeing high level basketball.
This place is rocking. Kansas State in this building is the best in the Big 12.
Here comes Sandstorm.
Somebody find a fire extinguisher.
Where would you rather be than Bramlage Coliseum?
How about the Wildcats?
Push it, push it, push it.
Nice, nice.
And this team just keeps pushing.
Mark, we got SEC versus Big 12 tonight. Here are guys that to me have been hard to guard so far in the SEC. Mark Sears will be in the running for the National Player of the Year. One of the better league guards in all of college basketball. Janai Broome, just a force, a major factor in their win over Houston. Trey Johnson is one of the elite top-level freshmen in all of college basketball, off to a sizzling 25 points a game. And Walter Clayton Jr., one of the older, better guards in this league in the SEC. You know, the SEC started the year with 9 teams inside the top 25. The Big 12 began the year with 5 inside the top 10. Both leagues, I think, will put anywhere around 9 or 10 teams in the NCAA tournament. 2 loaded power leagues going head-to-head tonight here in Manhattan.
C.J. Jones knocks down the first free throw. K-State only 1 of 8 from the field to begin the second half. So they are fortunate that they're still only in that 11, 12-point deficit range, which is where they were at the half. Got down by as many as 17. Chest has had a good night. In fact, he scored his first points as a Tiger with 8 points in his 13 minutes. Carter, terrific pass right as the shot clock was expiring. Chest trying to get the shot off, but Matt McMahon is saying, hey, I got hit in the head on the shot attempt before the clock expired. It was a heck of an entry pass, though, to get him the basketball. K-State will try to make this double-digit lead down to single digits. Sears chasing McDaniel. Gasson tried to split 2 defenders. No bucket. Foul is going to happen on the floor prior to the shot. That's going to go against Collins.
I know LSU got called for the foul, but they did a nice job of plugging the front of the rim with bodies, not allowing a free run out of that middle ball screen. Look at the purple jerseys that Gasson has to work through. If you're Matt McMahon, you'll take that foul because it says your guys are aware, loaded to the ball.
Gasson reverses it and scores. And Kansas State does get the deficit down to single digits with over 14 minutes to go. And the crowd of Bramlage getting back into this one. Howson with the push as Carter was starting the drive.
And you don't want to foul. That shot clock, you foul at 6 on the shot clock. And Cam Carter does the right thing. He doesn't settle for a jump shot. He forces the officials to come into the game and blow the whistle and gives them a new 20 seconds to work with.
Sears, kick to the corner. Bailey got a little push, but a three is on the way and good.
Big time shot by Sears.
11 for Jordan Sears. Back up to a 12-point lead for the Tigers. C.J. Jones out for Hawkins. His shot is off the right side of the rim and out of bounds, but was last touched by LSU.
A really good ball move by LSU to make Kansas State work. And there was a paint touch, and then Jai Bailey just knows how to play. I mean, one bounce of the ball and then knows that Sears is going to be sprinting to the far corner, delivers the ball on time, on target, and kind of held off that K-State momentum that was building in this building.
Austin to the bench along with Gassan for Kansas State. Shore has checked back in, so has Buddy Rich. Once again, the Hamlet crowd quiet with their team down double digits. Three to shoot. He's going to have to force it up. Carter wanting to run, almost lost the dribble, then almost brought it over and back. Very close.
Both feet and the ball have to cross the timeline. A proper no call by this crew.
Hit Kissinger right there on it. Turning, shooting, got it. No bucket. Tony Padilla is going to wave it off and call it foul on the floor, sending Jalen Reed to the line after Hawkins picked up the foul, his first.
Mark, few things please a coach more than to be on the road and be able to jackhammer the ball inside like LSU just did. They don't get the basket, but they almost got a three-point play out of it. Just the ability to throw the thing in there in a tough situation, very important.
Shot clock is at 5. Reed, fouled by Achor.
He's a driving 6'10" athlete, is Jalen Reed, and he's under control. Very patient, very poised off the bounce in the middle part of the floor. Doesn't get sped up, makes the play off at 2 feet right here. And Achor gets those arms out in front of him. The elbows get away from the body. That's an easy call and a right call by this crew.
Victorious Miller will check in, and Kansas State will bring in David Castillo. First time he has seen the floor for the freshman is Jai Bailey to the bench for LSU. Swish on the second. It's a 13-point game with 12.5 minutes to go. Back to McDaniel. 12 to shoot. Castillo again fresh in the game for K-State. Achor, a spin, a turn. Just a little strong with that shot.
Mark, I can't emphasize enough how good LSU is at staying between the ball and the basket. The simple part of the game defensively, making K-State make plays, make shots through their chest. Really well done so far by this team in purple.
And it's been all nearly 30 minutes of this game to this point. This time they throw it away. And we're going to come to a timeout. The lead is 13 for LSU on the road in Manhattan. And Jimmy, K-State's getting shots. They have 45 field goal attempts, LSU 41, but what is the caliber of those K-State shots?
Yeah, not very good. Hey, simple ain't easy. And the simple part of defensive basketball is guarding the ball, staying in front of the ball, making them make plays through your chest. And look at LSU cut off that drive and force a tough two by Chor. It's been time and time again. Simple ain't easy, Mark. And the simple part of defense, can you lock your guy up, guard your yard, not give up straight line drives, clean up the miss? So far, so good. Holding Kansas State to only 40 points with under 12 to go is Matt McMahon's defense.
Cam Carter's return to Manhattan has been successful to this point. Second half field goals, K-State struggling. In fact, they're 1 for their last 9, haven't scored in over 2.5 minutes.
Shooting 31% from the floor. K-State in this game really very fortunate to only be down 13.
Chor trying to back down Reed again. Another tough shot. He hit the shot but traveled first.
He traveled because LSU was between the ball and the basket. Very simple, fundamental, not easy to execute as well as LSU's done it all night long.
Curtis Gibbons, freshman, a lot of dribbling, but able to get it to the rim. Just didn't get quite enough, but an offensive rebound. That's been another category that LSU has dominated tonight.
What is that, their 9th offensive rebound in this game?
Chest trying to go up, and he is fouled. But that's the difference. These two possessions we just saw. K-State, defender in front of them.
Yep.
K-State defensively fouls the LSU player going to the rim.
LSU has played with very impressive spacing offensively. They're staying that good 12, 15 feet apart from one another. The interior passing has been strong and tough.
Gassan takes a Chor's spot. Just, by the way, now 10 rebounds. I know it's only 3 games into the season, but it's been a bit of a breakout for Corey Chest, who does a couple of points, 10 boards in 17 minutes.
And again, he's getting his opportunity tonight with no Derek Fountain. I don't think Chest even played in the last ball game. Coach's decision.
He did not, and he only played 3 minutes in the Louisiana Monroe game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he's earning his minutes tonight. Yeah, he's double figures all by himself on the boards, on the glass.
Yeah, it's the rebounds.
No doubt.
It's just 2-point scoring, but it's double-digit rebounding. He's the leading rebounder. Even though Jalen Reed has 8 boards of his own, that's 18 rebounds between 2 players for LSU. Jalen hands it off, gets it back from Victorious Miller. It was not basket interference on Chest as he gets his second field goal.
And is now, what, 12th rebound in this game? Is that right?
Yes, that'll be number 12. It'll hit the stat monitor here shortly.
That counts as an offensive rebound, that tip. And Reed misses it. That ball's got to be... Boy, part of that ball was still on the cylinder, but it's almost like the officials said, hey, K-State, if you don't want to box off, we're going to reward it anyways.
Number 10, David Castillo.
David Castillo. Seen his first action of this game the last couple of minutes in his free throw. In, out, but then back in.
Mark, coaches know when they self-scout themselves, they know where they've been exposed. And Jerome Tang yesterday morning at a 7 a.m. practice, one of the first things he talked with us about was our second shot defense, the inability to clean up misses has been glaring. We've gotten away with it against less quality opponents. We won't get away with it tomorrow night.
K-State is 1 for their last 10 from the field, but they're only down 14. Yeah. It stays 14 after the 3 miss. Gassan, was it tied up? And they're going to call a foul. Tony Padilla has the foul.
Well, they're now in the bonus. Kansas State is. They got to take advantage of it.
That's Reed's third. So as you just alluded to, the foul issue mounting up here just past the midway point of this second half. And K-State going right back to the line where they're 9 of 11 tonight.
The last thing Jerome Tang told his guys yesterday morning was everyone has to make 100 free throws in this building before midnight. And he wanted them charted. They came in only making 60% on the year. That's a glaringly low number, small sample size, but they're going to have to capitalize tonight.
Hassan missed the front end, but Chest lost the handle of it, and it's turned back over to K-State. McDaniel. That's one of the few times we've seen a K-State ball handler beat their defender.
Jordan Sears never got squared in front of the ball. He never squared his guy up, and as a result, an easy 2 points at the rim. They've been hard to come by for Kansas State in this game.
And now, McDaniel steps in front of that pass, lays it in, and just like that, K-State with a little burst, and Matt McMahon needs a timeout.
Back-to-back non-tough plays by Jordan Sears. He doesn't fight defensively and square his guy up. And then the very next possession, he throws a high school hairy pass across the top that gets picked off. Right here, there's no fight. You don't square him up. McDaniel makes him pay, and then he has a turnover. And all of a sudden, Kansas State and Bramlage comes back to life.
A 6-0 run over the last minute has cut a 16-point deficit down to 10. As you look at the preseason poll in the Big 12, 16 teams, so K-State picked basically right in the middle preseason.
Well, it's a loaded up Big 12 once again. You add Arizona to the mix this year, and Kansas is right there with the best of them in the country. Houston's already been knocked off by Auburn. Iowa State is a feisty, tough, a bunch of returning dudes on the defensive end. Scott Drew's guys are going to get Baylor better all season long, but it's going to be a rugged slugfest again to work your way through this. Now, Jerome Tang went to the Elite Eight his first year, and they lost in the second round of the NIT last year. And trying to get this program where consistently in the NCAA, they're in this ball game, Mark, because they have started to force some turnovers. They're still getting pumped on the glass, but interesting, Kansas State has taken 48 shots in the game. LSU's only taken 45. So they're making up for the lack of glass play by forcing LSU into some turnovers right now.
But LSU shooting 49% from the field for the game. K-State 33%. but only down 10. You would think with that big a discrepancy in field goal percentage, it would be larger.
Can you get it inside on the road coming out of a timeout?
Bailey. Carter's three. Good.
Big time. A big time paint punch by Jai Bailey. I mean, he drove that thing with a purpose and knowing the shooter was going to fill behind. So well done by LSU.
Cam Carter leads all scorers with 17 tonight in his return to Manhattan.
Mark, that paint touch was worth money for Matt McMahon on the road.
Hawkins lays it in.
Mismatch, an easy find, yeah, an easy find.
And for Hawkins, his first field goal of the game, he had missed his first 6. But it puts him at 1,000 career points. Bailey again in a crowd in the lane, lost the handle, and it's scooped up and brought out by McDaniel. Castillo, the freshman of floaters, off the right side. A one and done as Sears passes ahead for Carter. Collects the dribble, driving, scoring, but foul on the floor.
Boy, big basket a couple of possessions ago, and it all starts with Jai Bailey. You got to get in the paint, man. You got to punch the paint, make the defense respect it. And the fall behind, the fill behind jump shot by Cam Carter. Really well done in a tough spot by LSU. The last 2 years, Cam Carter, a big part of Kansas State's success under Jerome Tang. And he returns tonight as a visiting LSU Tiger. Has handled it really well, has not forced anything, in my opinion, in this game. Has shot a really nice ball, he's driven it, he's guarded his tail off. Just a high IQ game by 5 in purple. And he looked good in K-State purple. He also looked pretty good in LSU purple. And there's a vote for what he looked like when he was here, but he left here with a great feeling for Jerome Tang, and Jerome told us yesterday that nothing but love for this kid and believing in us in our first couple of years here, but he has been outstanding 11-point lead, a big part of it. Cam Carter in the purple of LSU tonight.
6 of 9 from the field. He's hit 3 threes. I don't give the plus minus very often, but he's a plus 11, which is the best number of any player on either team right now.
That's good, right?
Definitely so. There's a deflection by McDaniel, a near steal. K-State's been a bit more active defensively here. Sears, Carter, another 3. This time a miss and a Hawkins rebound. Wildcats will try to get this back down to single digits. Skip to Castillo, and the freshman can't hit the shot from the right side, and then over the top we get a foul on K-State.
Another grown man rebound by LSU. Just multiple athletes eating glass for Matt McMahon. Chess had played a total of 3 minutes coming into tonight. He now has, what, 12 or 13 rebounds.
Yeah, a guy from New Orleans who redshirted last year, but was able to practice with the team all season, which was a big deal, Jimmy, for his development.
Yeah, well, he is a specialist. And what he specializes in is when the ball's shot, he thinks it's his on either ends of the floor.
By the way, that last foul on K-State, there's 6, so LSU nearly in the bonus, and then there's Sears to kiss that in from the right wing.
You know how good that was? Because he took a pretty good hit, but he is low, strong, and tough through contact. And again, LSU's ability to stay in front of the ball forces another turnover. I go back to the play of Sears, though. He was second in the country last year operating off of ball screens as an offensive guy, but he took a pretty good hit by Doug McDaniel and won the one-on-one battle, won the war. Boy, time and time again, when Kansas State tries to clamp down in this game, LSU wins a body blow play either on the glass or driving the ball through contact or making plays off of 2 feet.
You know, Jordan Sears had been playing a really game. Then a short time ago, he had one bad sequence defensively and offensively, but he's clicked it back into gear since then.
That's what tough guys do, man. They don't let 2 mistakes become 3.
Blind pass. Hawkins comes across from the backside, swats it away, but commits the foul.
You're trying to go on the road if you're LSU and win a true road game against a team out of a Power 4 conference. Surprisingly, the only team to do it in the opening week was my guy Matt Driscoll and the Ospreys from North Florida, knocking off South Carolina and Georgia Tech. It's not easy to do. You go on the road against a power program, and LSU has so far been the stronger team from the opening tip.
Damian Collins, a dozen points. He hasn't missed a shot from the field, 5 of 5 in his 18 minutes. Lead up to 15 for the Tigers, and Hawkins able to wiggle away from Bailey for the easy lay-in.
One of the few times that LSU has allowed a guy to cut in front of their face, and Bailey was trailing the entire cut that time by Coleman Hawkins.
Sears going to back it up with 10 to shoot. Bumps into Hawkins, kicks, good ball movement. Victorious Miller in the lane, floater good.
So well done. That's so well done. From the backup dribble, the paint touch, the reversal out of the corner. Victorious Miller, big time name in a pretty good game, right?
And 9 points tonight. Underneath Gasson, able to finish.
Mark, it just feels like if LSU doesn't have live ball turnovers and K-State scoring off of them, they're in really good shape to close out this game. You don't want to be conservative, but you certainly don't want to be careless right now, up 13 on the road.
There have been 20 total turnovers in the game, 13 by LSU, now make it 14. Gasson trying to get to the rim, able to get past Bailey, but just couldn't get it over the rim.
He never could get control of his speed.
And then at the other end, Victorious Miller, the freshman, only 3 games into his collegiate career, and he has 11 points. three, short. Missed by McDaniel.
Mark, we're sitting near the LSU bench, and just time and time again you hear them hollering, get square, square them up, man. Guard that ball, stay in front of it, stay out of defensive rotations. They have put on a defensive clinic through the first 36 minutes of this game.
Third foul on Cam Carter. Nobody on LSU has 4. Nor does anybody on K-State have 4 fouls. It's still 4:27 to play. One to 2, but we're going to have a lane violation on Collins, and it's going to give Gasson another opportunity.
Yeah, he kind of got off balance, kind of leaning a little early and stepped out of his designated spot.
Gasson unable to take advantage as Cam Carter yanking down the rebound, almost walked with it.
Now LSU can make sure they are running good. Man, again, you just can't turn it over. You're going to win the game.
Their 15th turnover. Hawkins. There's Collins from behind. Grabbed Gasson on the entry pass. And for Collins, his third.
LSU's number 10, David Collins. His third personal foul. Team foul number 9.
9-team foul against the Tigers. K-State's going to shoot 2 from the line from here on out. Gasson earns the second shot here. Collins comes out. He had a really strong start to this game, Jimmy.
Very active, was he not? He played with a ton of energy for a kid 6'10". A real weapon in and out of ball screens with his speed, quickness, and length.
K-State, after that miss, now 11 of 16 from the line. And the lead stays at 13 for LSU with under 4 minutes left. Carter couldn't get it to fall, but he will shoot 2 instead of an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Another poised play, though, by Carter. Didn't settle for a 3. He got the lead on the road, drive the ball, bring the officials in. LSU in a great spot right now to close this out.
So with 3:43 left, take a look. The rebounding, field goal percentage for each team, and a couple other things certainly stick out. Number one, LSU fell behind by 5 early in the game, but really have never had a big deficit to try to overcome. In fact, they have led this game since the 9:30 mark of the first half. The issue is what you had mentioned, though. They have 15 turnovers. 10 of those here in the second half has let K-State stay around. Yes. But you don't really feel like they're going to give up the game here.
I don't, because of that, what's on the screen right now.
Yeah.
They have been, Kansas State, almost doubled up on the glass. Almost. And that's a huge concern, not only within this game, if Kansas State can't come back, but going forward, are they going to understand the fight level and the toughness and the ruggedness, mud in your blood that you got to play with, especially getting ready for Big 12 play. You can't get knocked around on the glass like Kansas State has in this game and expect to be a major player in the Big 12. And this will be another film that Jerome Tang will say, who are we and what are you willing to give up for this team? I need everybody involved in the fight on the glass.
K-State can't come back. It would be just the 5th loss for them at Bramlage Coliseum under Jerome Tang, who came in 31-4 at Bramlage as the K-State head coach, now early in year 3. You've seen a ton of SEC basketball over the years. When's the last time you remember a defensive effort like this from an LSU team?
Well, Will Wade had a couple of really good defensive teams when he was there, but this is more kind of typical of the SEC. They don't always shoot straight in that league. It's gotten better the last few years offensively, but it has been a rugged, long, athletic defensive league, and we've seen it tonight here in Manhattan, right?
Definitely so. But it has been almost really from wire to wire, the defensive effort by LSU.
Relentless.
Yes, relentless is a perfect word for it. This LSU team that returned 6 players from last year's squad, picked up 3 players from the portal. One of those being Jordan Sears, who seems to be, just 3 games into the season, a very nice addition to this squad. Jones hits 1 of 2. Kansas State was able to get the lead down to 9 about 5.5 minutes into the second half. They just couldn't get it any lower than that, at least till this point. Reed. C.J. Jones out with it, 3 minutes to go. Big uphill climb for K-State, down 15. Turning, shooting, scoring. That's to start. C.J. Jones
didn't need it.
But he's able to get his own minutes for Victorious Miller.
You've got to run clock right now.
Yeah, it wasn't a wise choice, but all in all, the freshman Victorious Miller's had a really good game in his 18 minutes with 11 points.
One more. You need this one, though.
And when it mattered more in the possession, he hits the 3 from the right corner.
See the difference, though, in the 3-point shot? One of them was in transition, hurried, not needed. The second one took exactly what the defense gave him. And I love the courage to miss one and come right back and stick the next one by Victorious Miller.
Hassan fouled as he goes up with the shot. Brendan Hassan, who came into this game 10 for 18 from behind the 3-point line, has hit 2 tonight, 2 for 6.
He has been covered up with a longer athlete than he has faced the first 2 games as a K-State Wildcat. And that's kind of the versatility that the K-State women showed us in our first game tonight. A lot of size, a lot of length, a lot of kids that can switch out, cover multiple positions, and Matt McMahon has had that luxury to throw at Hassan all night long.
We're closing out a men's women's doubleheader here at Bramlage. Aoka Lee had a game-high 28 in just 16 minutes on the floor in K-State's 86-68 win over Creighton in our women's game earlier tonight on ESPN2.
To me, Kansas State women, they are a sneaky Final Four, you better keep your eye on them because they showed a little bit of everything tonight on both ends of the floor.
Cam Carter, 19 points in his 32 minutes in his return to Manhattan so far tonight.
Mark, think about the minutes that Victorious Miller has played tonight. Chest has played. Young freshman on the road at K-State, and they have more than held up.
Yeah, this seems like a game that Matt McMahon can look back and he's got a little better handle. Again, it's just game 3 of the season on some of his younger players and newer players in this program. Run out. Jones, they forgot about Buddy Rich. Able to lay it in. So it's an 11-point deficit, but here's Miller, Victorious Miller again. Now Wisely slowing it down. And he gets fouled to stop it with 1:27 left.
We talked about Matt McMahon. When he took that LSU program over, he had no scholarship guys after the first 10 days. And he had to quickly throw a roster together through his first year against a rugged SEC, only won 2 games. And he comes back last year, and they win 9 games and continues to build it through the portal. He's gotten key guys in that freshman class. But an ultra-competitive guy has had his team guard their tails off the entire night. And with the exception of a few careless turnovers, they have played with great composure on the road and about to get out of here with a really good win in year 3 for Matt McMahon in the second week of the season.
Yeah, this can be one of the better environments here at Bramlage Coliseum. And Matt McMahon's team, especially here in the second half, did not let this crowd get their team back into the game. And an offensive rebound leaves possession here for LSU.
The official stats say LSU with 11 offensive rebounds. It feels like it's
a lot more.
A lot more. 14 or 15. I think we may have missed a few there. Yeah, they have absolutely worn Kansas State out on the glass. And I know Jerome Tang will probably have a highlight package built by Film Session tomorrow showing offensive rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound. The film doesn't lie. And Jerome Tang warned his guys yesterday, and now they are going to get knocked around in the nose and suffer their first loss because of it tonight.
They'll take on Mississippi Valley State on Tuesday here on ESPN Plus at 7 Central. And LSU will be taking on Charleston Southern back at the BMAC. Also on Tuesday on SEC Network Plus. 1 minute to go. LSU by a dozen. Stay with the Tigers.